All right, what's going on, guys? So this is going to be the first rotation video for how we can learn how to use a combat style that's not necromancy. First style we're going to work on is melee. Now, this is the style I've had the most fun with, and it's also the style that I've enjoyed the most besides necromancy. I've tried range, I've tried magic, and they're just not it for me. I'm just not enjoying them, but I am really enjoying melee. So we're making a video about it. In terms of our gear, this is all the gear we discussed in the last video. I'm assuming you already have a Scripture of Jazz. Most people have this from necromancy. An Amulet of Souls is best in slot hybrid necklace until you get a Essence of Finality. So again, you should have this already. And then I have a Tzkal cape. Again, you should have this already. If you don't have this already, I'll link my Tzkal guide in the description. But again, this is something that you should have. For our ring, we're using Asylum Surgeon ring. This is just because it's a free ring. If you want to use something else, you can definitely use something else. It's not a big deal either way, but that's the gear setup. We are using a Dragon Battle Axe for its special attack. This special attack is a multiplicative damage bonus. So for your upfront burst damage, this is going to be a very, very good. And besides that, we're using Dark Ice Shard and Dark Ice Sliver. These just are going to do the most damage for this price point. It's tier 88 damage, tier 85 accuracy. You're really not going to get much better damage than this. For damage, we're using a Ripper Demon. It's just good damage familiar against non-poisonable because we're going to be practicing on Vindicta. And for our aura, we're using the Berserk aura. You don't need to use your Berserk aura. I mainly use it just because I have it and I have a million refreshes. But if you don't have a Berserk aura, you can use Majorat. You can use Dark Magic. It's not going to make a massive difference. It is really, really good, but it's not, the difference between you killing a boss and not killing a boss. It's just, it's a sizable damage increase. So for this video, we'll use Dark Magic. Now, this is the Revolution bar that I've been using. This bar is nice because this will infinitely loop all these abilities with no downtime. You'll see if we just click on this dummy, it will keep casting all these abilities, and I'm never going to stall because I run out of abilities to cast. So we'll just go through a full cycle, and you can see that I'm never stalling. I'm never running out of stuff to do. So that's why this bar is set up the way it is. I really enjoy this bar. Now, the other thing is to keep in mind is we are using Destroy and Assault outside of the bar. Greater Flurry is also very good, but it is a greater ability, so I'm going to assume that you don't have this. If you don't have Greater Flurry in particular, this is not worth using. So the only thresholds you do want to be worrying about are Destroy, which is a channel that stuns, and Assault, which is just a higher damage channel. Additionally, we have Fury. Regular Fury increases your next instance of melee damage crit chance by 25%. Greater Fury guarantees it to crit. So this is really good if you want to overpower. You can Greater Fury overpower, then your first hit is going to crit no matter what. So you can see that added an extra 3,000 damage. That's really good. That's always worth at least trying. And then Barge is really good if you have Greater Barge. If you don't have Greater Barge, this is just your initiation. So something that you can do is you spawn into a fight, you Zerk, and then you just Barge so that you can hit it from outside of melee distance without losing any global cooldowns. That's what you're going to use Barge for. And then Overpower is just big damage. That's all there is to say. It's a lot of damage. So yeah, that's why my bar is set up the way it's set up. Down here, I also have 2 stuns. I have Stomp and Kick. If the boss you're fighting doesn't need stuns, then you're not going to need to have those on your main bar. And then Chaos Roar can replace your Essence of Finality spec slot if you don't have an Essence of Finality. Generally, you're going to want a Chaos Roar, one of your bigger abilities. So if for some reason your Fury is on cooldown, and you want to buff up your next Overpower, you can Chaos Roar Overpower, and that's really good. You can, and notably, Chaos Roar will buff up the entire damage of your next ability instead of just the first hit. Another thing that you can do is Chaos Roar Destroy, Chaos Roar Assault, You can Chaos Roar Lang spec if you have them, or Dark Ice Shard spec. So you have a lot of options to use Chaos Roar. I believe this is relatively pricey. So Chaos Roar is about 60 mil, so we're not going to be using it in this video, but it's just something worth considering, is that that's another thing that you have at your disposal. So what exactly is your rotation? So the first thing you're going to do whenever you go into a boss fight is you want to make sure that you can quick join the portal. So here we're going to traverse, and I already opened up a portal here, but you want to do this so that you can rejoin this portal. The main reason that you're setting this option is because we're going to be using a Dragon Battle Axe spec, which lasts a minute. It's very important that you have that option to just rejoin so you can get the most amount of time out of your Dragon Battle Axe. So in terms of our rotation, what we're going to do, make sure our Battle Axe is equipped. We're going to use the spec, wield our Ice Shard, and then we're going to build to 100 Adrenaline. Then we're going to Berserk. We're going to Adrenaline Pot, and we're going to barge the enemy you want to fight. We're going to Fury, Overpower, and then we're just going to build Adrenaline until we can Assault. And that's basically all you really have time for in your Berserk rotation, but it's going to do about 100,000 to 120,000 damage depending, which, as you'd imagine, is very good. So that's how you want to pilot your Berserks. That's one of the easier ways to get the most damage out. Another thing that you can do is after your Assault, you can either cancel it early or just use your Dark Ice Shard spec. So we'll just do another quick rotation to show what that looks like. So Dragon Battle Axe, wield Dark Ice Shard. Berserk Adren Pot, Barge, Fury, Overpower. Use some basics. Now we're going to use Assault. And then we use our specs. And then our specs end up doing another 18,000 damage. So that's basically the most damage that you're going to be able to get out of a Berserk. Outside of your Berserk, you just loop through these abilities. Whenever your Destroy is off cooldown, you use Destroy. Whenever your Assault's off cooldown, you use Assault. And then if you have Overpower, make sure you Greater Fury first. All right, so now that we know the build, we're actually going to get in and do a kill. So I'm going to put on Turmoil and Soul Split. Where is Soul Split? Okay, we're going to Dragon Battle Axe spec. We're going to build our Adrenaline, and we're going to get right in there. Going to quick join. We're going to quick traverse. We're going to barge, Greater Fury, Overpower. We're going to use 2 basics, and then we're going to Assault. And you can see we are doing quite a bit of damage here. So now we'll Destroy. Our guy runs out of the fire on his own, which is really nice. Our Overpower is back up, so we're going to Greater Fury and Overpower. And then we're going to use our Dark Ice Shard spec. And we ended up getting about a 45-second kill. So including your build-up time, this is probably going to be around 50-ish kills an hour, which is very, very good, given how low investment that this gear is. Obviously, the guaranteed crit from Greater Fury helps, which a lot of you guys aren't going to have, but I didn't use my tier 99 prayer. I think I turned on by accident at the end of the kill, but it didn't matter because, you know, in the beginning of the kill, I didn't have it on. I'm using a Jazz book. I'm using Bandos, which is tier 70 power armor. I'm using the tier 85 weapons. So with the absolute most budget gear that we can get, we're still getting 45-second Vindicta kills, which is very good. Ideally, the thing you want to practice is making sure you get the beginning of the rotation down, where you Berserk, Barge to close the distance, Fury, and Overpower. As long as you're getting that down and then using an Assault as soon as you have the adrenaline for it, you'll be able to put out the same damage. I didn't do any crazy mechanics. I didn't do anything super special. I just did what I said I was going to, which is use those 3 abilities, build to Assault, use basics. So yeah, hopefully this rotation guide helps you. Obviously it is for beginners. Once you're more advanced, the rotations are going to look a lot different and they're going to look a lot better, but that's what you can expect to see. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. When I put out guides in the future for Melee, they're going to be using this gear, and the Berserk rotation is going to be that rotation every single time. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.